Hi, I'm Tammy Randolph, and you're watching The Chamber Does What? Hi, I'm Tammy Randolph. I'm so glad you joined me today. My guest this morning, I'm very excited, everybody knows her, is Nancy Casson. Nancy, thank you for being here.
Tammy, thank you so much for asking me. And you did ask so politely. I couldn't say no.
Well, I started to say who you are, but I mean, you're on the school board, you owned Casson Art, you owned the Red Ribbon, you do Chair-ries Jubilee, you're a little bit of everything. So what title hat do you want to wear today?
Active citizen.
Very active, very active.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Well, what I want to talk about today with you is Chair-ries Jubilee and how it came about and what it is and why we do it. So can you tell me a little bit about Chair-ries Jubilee?
I will be thrilled to tell you about Chair-ries Jubilee. And let me back up just a little bit and tell you that in 1994, the Chamber of Commerce decided that we needed a committee for quality of life. Because we had so many new businesses and industries coming into Cleveland-Bradley County, and those people were coming from places where maybe their daughter was a grand ballerina and she was 14 years old, and we needed to know if there was anything available here. So they kind of put it on the Allied Arts and Leisure Council to do this. That was in 94. So a bunch of us got together in 98 that were from that organization and decided that not only did we need to promote what we could do in Bradley County in the arts and in the leisure activities to encourage people to come to Cleveland-Bradley County, and also we thought we need to encourage some things in our schools. So we started looking at our city and county schools, and we found that maybe the arts programs weren't what we really would like to see. They were trying, but as everybody knows, in education, the first thing you cut is the arts, and the second thing is PE, which, you know, don't get me started there, Tammy. We don't have enough time. But anyway, so we decided that we needed to do something to benefit the arts in our schools. So we met in, I think it was Callaway's, what used to be Callaway's auto or car dealership. It was behind where the museum is now. And there were several of us that met there, male and female, talking about what we needed to do. So we hashed around a whole lot of ideas, and then we found out that Chattanooga Cares was doing a chair auction. And we thought, this sounds interesting. So we bought 2 tickets and sent 2 of our committee members down there and to just to see what it was all about. And what had happened is they had these chairs that Chattanooga celebrities had done, and they auctioned them off, and they had adult beverages and food and blah, blah, blah. And so they raised a lot of money for Chattanooga Cares. So the 2 people that our 2 scouts came back and told us, and we said, this is awesome. We can do this in Cleveland. We really can. We can do this. So we got our mind set on what we were going to do. And our first Chair-ries was in 1999. And it was at the Museum Center. No, it was at Cleveland Country Club.
Okay.
Because we didn't have the museum at that time. It was at Cleveland Country Club. And we told all these people what we were doing, and everybody kind of looked at us like, yeah, right. And I think we made about $12,000 that year. Cleared about $12,000.
That's still really good for a first year. Now, I want to interrupt because when you say Chair-ries Jubilee, people are thinking Chair-ries, Cherries,
Yeah.
but this is chair, Chair.
Right.
IES, Chair-ries,
chair.
because it is chairs.
That's exactly right. It's chairs. And so we, like I say, we made about $12,000 the first year, and we did give that back to our city and county schools in artists that came into the schools. June Chase came in and did some artwork with the kids. Avery did some pottery.
Avery McNeese.
Avery McNeese did some pottery, and just some different things like that we did. So that worked out really great. And right now, June Chase and I are the only 2 charter members still left. We lost Jenny Sawyer 2 years ago. She was a charter member, and we've added on. We've just lost people that just said, "Well, my kids are in college now. I don't need to be on that committee." But we do have some that I still call on, and then I have a whole new crew now, and then we work really well together. So the next year we moved to the museum, and again we made a little over $12,000. And so we're thinking, we're not really sure what's happening here, but that's okay. So we put that back into the schools. And then we decided that we needed to kind of theme things. Maybe that would help. So I had to make notes because I'm old. But anyway, like we did, 2001 was a space odyssey. Now, what we meant for them to do was to take a piece of furniture that was taking up space somewhere and decorate it and donate it for us to do an auction. But we had some people that actually did space theme, little things flying around and all that kind of thing, and that was good. And then we had we did Survivors one year. We played a lot off of TV shows. We did Desperate Housewives. We did Tweaks Roadshow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was what. We did Cherry Pickers because the Pickers were on TV at the time, and they actually donated a piece of furniture to us that year. So
now, we talk about it's cherries and chairs, but there's more than just furniture, correct?
Oh, yes. We do just about anything. We have artists that give us framed artwork. We have potters that do things like that. We have florists that donate flowers. And then the event is so exciting because we have caterers who donate to us food for like 300, 350 people. And so it's just a social event now. It's a marvelous social event.
One of the things that always sticks in my mind is the things that people have been repurposing.
Yes.
Like I've seen an old console TV get turned into a beautiful dog bed.
Right.
I've seen an old golf bag turned into a lamp. I mean,
right.
Whatever the people's imagination. And where do these items come from?
Well, that's interesting because when we first started this event, a lot of these items came from the side of the road. I mean, I would have people call me and say, Nancy, there is a chair at the corner of so-and-so and so-and-so, and it's just been out there for 2 days, so why don't you run by and pick it up? And I would. And so then we had people that said, I've got a basement full of stuff. So Wes Robbins was kind enough to donate space to us at a warehouse on Ocoee Street. And we've had that space now for probably about 7 or 8 years, and thank you, Wes. And we just keep collecting things and putting them in there. And so when we have anyone who calls us and says, I'd like to donate a piece for the auction, but I don't have any furniture, we say, we will meet you at the warehouse. And we do that with all our schools. And last year, our city and county schools were 100% participation. They all donated something to the auction. We have silent auctions, and we have live auctions. We don't jury these pieces. I mean, whatever you donate to us, we're going to try to sell. Sometimes we get $5 for it. Sometimes we get $1,500 for it. And those are the pieces we really like. But that's just the way it goes. We don't jury it. We just say, bring it and donate it. And if you are an artist, as we call you, the donors, then you get 2 free tickets to the event.
Now, I will say, in all honesty, my husband has been one of the donees.
And he's
donors.
wonderful. He's wonderful.
He's created chairs and lamps and a couple other things. He's done some benches and whatnot. And so it can be, there's everything from small items to large furniture pieces. I saw that someone had made this gigantic dollhouse one year.
Yes.
And some really fabulous pieces. You were talking about how this puts the money back into the schools. Now, how does that, I mean, you don't just hand over money to the schools and go, here, figure it out.
No, we don't. What we do is we ask our schools to fill out a really simple, like 2-page grant application to tell us what you would like to do with this money. And usually what we give each school is if they qualify, because we're not going to give you a grant to color inside the lines, on a ditto paper. But and we've had some really unique things that we've done that we have granted. But usually it's about $500. And if you have a second grade class, let's say at Prospect, which is one of my schools, decides the 3 of them want to go together and do something, then they can actually apply for $1,500 and bring in artists and events and things like that. We have done, I have no idea how many little musicals and big musicals that we have funded. Of course, to fund a musical for the high schools usually costs between $5,000 and $7,000, but we give them, $650,000, and our elementary schools and middle schools get $500, and all of our schools participate some way in the grant application, and they do different things. We've had right now, and I'm not going to pronounce this right, but we have the Bodran Irish drummer in the city and county schools. And I want to tell you, Tammy, that was so much fun. He was at Prospect last year, and I went. And my undergraduate degree is in health and physical education and a minor in music. So I thought I'm pretty musical, you know. Well, you pick up this round drum and this little stick, and you hold the drum on the back side, and you beat the drum, you know, like this. Well, that looks pretty simple when I show it to you like this. Huh? But the drum in your hand and doing this, no, it was so much fun. I mean, I had a ball, but I realized that I wasn't cut, and I wasn't. In high school, I was a flautist, not a drummer. So, you know, but it was so wonderful because it taught the kids so many different things, like reading the timing, and they put the chart up on the wall so you can kind of see the timing that you're doing, and also actually doing the timing and participating as a group, and all ages do that. So he's back in the city and county schools again.
Oh, good.
Then I believe it's the first Thursday in February, we have an international storyteller that's coming into the city, into Stewart Elementary and Prospect Elementary, and then doing what they call a concert that night at First Pres, because storytellers are so great. You know, and the thing about the arts, you have kids that are good football players, basketball players, tennis players, whatever, but we may have kids that aren't athletic, but they can be artsy, as I call them. And music touches all kinds of lives. I mean, I hear a song at church and I'm really touched. So, and the other things we do in the art, we actually do visual art. We have artists come in sometimes and do that. It's really, really has been beneficial to our schools. And both of our director of schools are tremendously supportive of this program because they know we can bring in things that they can't because the money's just not available.
Do you know how much money has been raised with Chair-ries since you've been doing it for, 26 years now?
This will be our 27th Chair-ries. And let me say, we were at the museum until 2 years ago. And so we renamed a little bit. It was Chair-ries Jubilee because we moved to the Pie Center, and we wanted people to know, we wanted them to associate that we were going to be at the Pie Center. So we will be at the Pie Center again this year. But we have put almost $600,000 back into our schools.
In art and education
in
programs.
arts and education programs, and we're extremely proud of that.
That's wonderful. And you said this all started through the Arts and Leisure Council at the Chamber.
Right.
And then moved on. And so it's still part of the Chamber program,
Absolutely,
correct?
it is, because we could not do this program without the Chamber. I will tell you that right now. They handle a lot of, my main job is to handle the logistics. But then sometimes I have to turn that over to the Chamber and say, could you make this call for me? Could you do, because the Chamber has a little bit more oomph than Nancy does, okay? And I can get things done through the Chamber that maybe I couldn't get done. But also they financially help us in that it's not like floating a loan, but they pay our bills until the end when we, settle up with them and say, here's what we did. And we've been able for the last, I guess, 6, 7, 8 years to put $20,000 back into our schools. And we do that, like I say, through those grants. But the Chamber is, honest to goodness, Tammy, we could not do this. We've gotten too big to do this on our own. And the Allied Arts and Leisure Council, we dropped the word leisure after about 5 or 6 years, because with leisure we were thinking book clubs and softball tournaments and quilting and things like that. And those people weren't interested in us. So we said, okay, that's fine. And so now we're the Arts in Business and Education Council at the Chamber. And the reason for that is, and most people may know this, I do, I did before, that artists are really not good business people. There's a right brain and a left brain. And your artists are right-brained, and they don't think business-wise. And so if you have a business that is art-related, maybe you need a little help. And so that's what we're trying to do. And they are Chamber members, the businesses are.
We have several that are Chamber members.
Yes. And so we want to include them in our activities. So now we're the AEBC, and which is pretty easy to remember when you finally get it in your head, because I still call it Allied Arts.
I do too.
Yeah, but the AEBC is now the sponsor of the Chair-ries through the Chamber. And like I say, we could not do this without the Chamber. They do so much for us, and they tell us, we do sponsors every year. And the sponsorships start at $500 or $300 or $150, and you get tickets for that. And of course, you get the event and et cetera, et cetera. But the chamber handles all the finances for us. People buy their tickets, do their sponsorships and everything through the chamber. I don't have to balance any checkbooks. I don't have to do anything like that. Thank you. And they handle it all. You can walk in the chamber and buy tickets to Chair-ries.
We show some of the events in there. You
Yes.
also do a traveling, take some of the items around the different sponsor banks.
We do.
Now, when is Chair-ries going to be this year?
Okay, Chair-ries will be April the 10th. That's a Friday evening. We will begin at 6 o'clock, and we will be again at the Vocker Center at the Pie Center. And that has turned out to be a wonderful facility. So big. And
Last year you had how many items?
we had 197 items. And that went everything from this size.
To monsters.
Yes, to
and you have it
monsters.
set up. If people can't take this stuff with them, you've got it set up to be able to be delivered from Boundless, and so
Right.
you have that made up as well. So there's food, there's
Beverages.
There's a great environment to be around there. There's music that's going on at the same time. It's a really great evening out to support the community and support the schools and the arts and education
and a networking
program.
opportunity for people. I mean, what we consider ourselves is the first real event of the spring. So we've all been indoors all winter, and so what do? You need to come out to the Chair-ries and see everybody that you haven't seen since maybe the Christmas party or something like that. So we're really excited to be doing this. I mean, it's a lot of work, but a lot of fun.
It is. It is a lot of fun. Well, Nancy, you are a treasure as well. You have been, like I said, I've been at the Chamber for 20 years, and I know that you were there at the Chamber before me. Like I said, you had Casson Art and the Red Ribbon, and so you have always been a valued member of the Chamber, and I greatly appreciate that. Do you have any advice for anybody who's thinking about joining the Chamber?
Well, you know, the thing that people say to me is, what does a chamber do? Well, hello, folks. I mean, the chamber does everything. I mean, the reason that we have a Chamber of Commerce is to keep us informed about what's going on in the community, also to recruit businesses and industries into the community. But if you look at what we've done with tourism and these industries we've recruited in, our tax base is minimal compared to other places around. And you have people that are advocating for you at the Chamber, large industries, small businesses. And it's just something, I just have always been a member of the Chamber. I just felt like as a contributing community member, I needed to belong to the Chamber. But when you join the Chamber, you don't just join and say, okay, I'm a member of the Chamber. And then you say, what does the Chamber do for me? You have to become active at the Chamber. Now, that doesn't mean you have to volunteer every time the doors open or anything, but find you something that you appreciate at the Chamber. And we have several committees at the Chamber, and you can find one that you, small business, that you fit into, or EBC that you fit into. And we will be more than glad to find a place for you there. But don't just sit back and say, well, I've got my Chamber membership and I don't really know why I joined because they're not doing anything for me. That is wrong, because they are doing things for you. And I think it's very important for every business and industry in Bradley County to belong to our Chamber.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for everything you do. And I know that you are retiring from the Red Ribbon, but I'm hoping you're going to keep your membership as a retiree and stay with us, because Chair-ries Jubilee will not be the same without you.
Well, I'm not giving up Chair-ries Jubilee. So thank you so much, Tammy, for having me on today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for watching, listening. I hope you come back next time and like, share, tell your friends. Thanks. Bye-bye.